come to your yoga mat and stretch out into downward facing dog, right into dog pose. So we start here this morning, active. Press the hands down and forward, have a little bend in the knees. Let out a few deep breaths. Shake your head. Pedal out the feet. And then take the knees down to the mat and sit back in child's pose. Relax the arms, relax the whole body. Noticing what the body gives you in that first ability to stretch, to lengthen, and here to fold in. We play in the balance of those things in our yoga practice each and every time we come to the mat. Reach the arms out long in front of you now. Come up to the fingertips. Lift your forearms, your elbows, and your upper arm bones towards the sky. From the hollow underneath the armpits, try to stretch and sink back, hips towards the heels. Walk your hands over to the right side. Enjoy the side body stretch and length here. Walk the hands across the center on over to the second side. Same work. Then come back to the middle. Up to all fours. Cat and cow. Let the belly go down, pull the chest through, look up, eyes and tailbone to the sky. Then press down through the hands and knees, round the back, drop your head, look towards your navel. And go back and forth several times. As always, find your own pace. Work within your breath. And then stretch back to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Notice what it offers you the second time around here. Look, just a few opening movements, maybe just a little bit more space, a little more ease in our stretch. Bend your knees a lot. Walk your hands backwards to your feet. Ragdoll pose here at the end of our mat. Hold on to the elbows, sway. Let your head, upper body be heavy. And roll up to standing. Take your time to slowly walk up to the front end of your yoga mat. Take mountain pose. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Lower flat down to your yoga mat. Peel the chest up for cobra. And go back to downward facing dog. Adding a bit here, bring your right knee, right foot all the way through to a low lunge. And then the right hand up to the sky at a twist. Lower the right hand to the inside of your foot, spin the back heel down. Down dog lunge, walk your hands out. Press especially your left foot down and back. Broaden the front knee away from your right shoulder. Then walk your hands back in. Step back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out. Step your left foot through to the low lunge. Step until you have your full stride. Add the twist, left arm high. Lower the hand to the inside of your foot, spin the back heel down, line up about heel to heel, down dog lunge. Walk your hands out to split that front corner of your mat. Again, the weight likes to go into the hands. Try to push it back into the feet. Broaden out the front knee. Walk the hands in and around and step forward, back foot to the front of the mat. Half lift. Forward fold. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Inhale, lift the arms back up. We'll go a second time around here, a little different in the lunges. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Step back to plank. With control, lower down. Move right into cobra. And back to downward facing dog. This time, let's step the left foot forward first. So left foot forward to your lunge. Nice long stride. And then lower the back knee down to the mat. Bring the hands up to your front thigh. Nice full lift in the chest, torso here. Keep the belly toned. Squeeze the hips in. And then allow the hips to move a little bit down and forward. First, inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. And add a twist here as well. Right hand over the left leg. Lift the arms back up to the sky. And down each side of the foot. Step it all the way back, downward facing dog. And then right foot forward. Again, get the very long stride first, so that when you take the back knee down, it's well behind the line of your hips. And then bring the hands up to the front thigh. So I have a little more weight almost on the front of my left thigh rather than on the cap of the knee. Makes it a little easier to find some adjustments. Torso lifted, but hips a little bit lowered. And then lift both arms up. Add a twist, left arm across the right thigh. Look to the side or maybe even a little bit back here. And inhale, lift the arms back up. Big full reach. Lower them down. Take the back knee up and step forward. Both feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stand up, lift the arms to the sky. And then from here, take the hands behind your back. With the elbows bent, squeeze them in towards one another. And think like chair pose and cat pose all together. Bend the knees, sit down into the thighs. Round your back and head towards the knees. And then can you stretch your arms up towards the sky? If the hands come apart, no big deal. Mine are slowly losing that grip. And then everyone do stand all the way back up. Lift the arms to the sky as you go. And take your right foot onto your left leg for tree pose. You can use a helping hand. Push the foot into the leg back out into the foot. Without touching the foot down, can we change to eagle pose? So we'll take a little bend in the standing leg and wrap. And then the opposite arm on bottom, on top, I should say. So with the right leg crossed, it's the right arm under. Ooh. Stand on 2 feet. Unwrap the arms, lift, and try it on the second side. Left foot onto the right leg. So obvious balance work always in these poses. But squeeze the glutes and push the knee out to the side as you push the foot into the leg to get that extra bit of hip opening. And if we're working external rotation here, it's the internal rotation, the opposite that comes, an eagle pose. Wrap the leg and take the left arm under the right. So looking for that balance, strength and stretch. Extend out, pull in. Do a lot, do a little. 2 feet to the ground, unwrap the arms, lift up. Exhale, back to your forward fold. Make the fingertips touch the ground and then make your legs as straight as they'll go, keeping the fingertips on the floor. All right, let's keep our right foot forward and step the left foot back into our lunge. Big open to warrior 2, so spin the back heel down. Rise up. The intention, the direction of the body be open to the side. But then aim your focus, your eyes out over the front fingertips. Don't be afraid to move in the pose, like a little bit of lift and lowering to find your place. Lower the back hand down to the leg, lift your top arm to the sky, and then look over your back shoulder. So reverse warrior, staying nice and open to the side. Try not to let the back thigh fall forward and squeeze the low back. Give it some space. And cartwheel your arms all the way down around the front foot. Step back to plank. Lower flat down to the belly. Interlace the hands behind your back and lift everything that you can up. Lower down. Go through downward facing dog. And then step your left foot forward into the low lunge. As always, no rush, find your way. And then warrior 2, line up about heel to heel. Cartwheel all the way upright. As ever, shoulders stack over our hips. We want to feel as though the thighs are pushing back, but at the same time, the tailbone pushes down to land you right into the center. You're gazing out over the front fingertips. Look down and broaden the knee so that you can see your big toe. And then change to our reverse warrior. Right hand down the right leg. Reach towards the calf, and that should take your left arm wanting to go up. But rather than look up, look down and back. Just find it a lot easier to maintain the openness of the pose that way. Okay, cartwheel your hands all the way down around the front leg. Step back to plank. Lower down to the mat. This time, hands behind your head and bend your knees. Inner edges of the feet together, knees apart. Lift everything that we can up. Oof. A couple of breaths. Do our best. As you lower down, press back. Find that release of child's pose. Try to do less for just even 2 breaths here. Okay, when you're ready, downward facing dog again. Let's take the right leg up into the air for 3-legged dog. Bend your knee. And then point the knee up to the sky. Kind of open the hip so that the foot goes over towards the left side. And then square the shoulders down towards the mat, which should take a feeling of a lift underneath the left side, almost a rotation down on the right side to keep us balanced. Now change. Pull the knee into the chest, hover forward, think cat back, round, round, round. And step it all the way through. Come to a wide-legged forward fold. So you're going to walk to the side of your yoga mat. Turn your feet parallel to one another. Take the head down and reach your hands either to the floor in the center of your mat or hold onto your ankles. If you're holding onto the ankles, bend your elbows and keep lengthening your head down towards the mat. This pose can be done with a bend in the knees. Just make sure it's even on both sides as much as possible. Go for straighter legs as works in your body. If your knees are more bent, you might have some more weight resting in the heels. If you're going for straighter legs, have most of your weight forward in your toes. Okay, and then we're going to look towards the back end of the mat. Rotate here into a low lunge on this side. And then kind of reverse the order. So pull the heel into the chest, knee into the chest, round the back in that hover position. And then can you kick the left leg all the way up and back? Bend the knee and open the hip. Again, make the knee face up towards the sky. Best we can. Foot is coming across towards the right side. And if you're like me, the more that I let the foot come over towards the left side, the left shoulder also wants to lift. So I've got to find the balance. Lift the right side underneath the armpit. Rotate the left shoulder down to keep the balance in the torso across the abdomen. And do the best we can in the hips. One more breath like this. And then you'll straighten and lower the leg down to the mat. You're still probably facing backwards. It's okay. Come forward to plank pose. Lie flat down on your mat. Do cobra, peel your chest up. And press back to child's pose. Give yourself 2 really full, restful breaths. Okay, I'll get us turned back around. So you're here, just kind of tuck your toes and come all the way up to standing. And then you should turn around and face the front of the mat again. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Take the feet as wide as your mat. Turn the toes a little bit out, the heels a bit in. And yogi squat. Feet stay flat on the ground. Drop the butt down, the hips down as much as we can do, keeping the feet flat down. Some days I need to stay a little higher than others. Find where it works for you today. And like a little stargazer pose, we're going to reach the right hand down towards the floor and lift the left arm up to the sky. Come back to the center and try it on the other side. Left fingertips down to the floor or hovering, right arm up to the sky. So we get a bit of a twist. Okay, both hands can come down and stand all the way up. Heel toe the feet back in. Keep the right foot forward, step the left foot back into your high lunge. Lift the arms up to the sky, taking a breath. This is similar to what we did with the back knee down a little bit earlier. Take the right hand across the left hand across your right thigh. And then inhale, arms go back up to the sky. And lower the hands on each side of the foot for a moment. Set the back knee down. And then push the hips backwards a bit so that your hips, instead of coming forward towards the front foot, are more energetically pushed back towards the left leg. Yeah? Hands to the inside of your foot and swing the left arm up to the sky. It's a lot like what we just did in that Malasana yogi squat in terms of the lift and twist in the arms. Okay, lower the hand down. Lift the back knee up, step it forward. Lift both arms up to the sky. Keep the left foot forward, step the right foot back. We'll start with arms high here. And then add the twist, right hand across the left thigh. And back upright. Lower the hands down. Lower the right knee down. And this is, again, a little bit of a shorter stride, more 90 degrees. Push the hips back so that the hips are right over the back knee. Take the hands to the inside. Press the outer arm bone into the upper thigh there to help you stabilize, and then lift the right arm up. Something about the balance of that pose I always find more difficult than it looks. Okay, both hands come down. Let's step it backwards to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet a little bit. And then take it to pigeon pose, right knee behind the right wrist. Lower the left knee to the ground and walk the left leg back. But let's keep the torso upright so the hands can stay right to the front of the right shin or on either side, whatever works best for you. And we'll add the quad stretch as well, so pull the back heel in. And of course, if there's a point that the add-on that we do is not working for you, you simply don't add it on. Take the left hand to the left foot and pull the heel closer into the seat. As you do that, spin the hand forward, elbow up to the sky. And then I think of this as like the three-legged dog opening, where the chest is now open to the side, and I have to do the harder work to get the chest to come back around to the front, more even shoulder to shoulder. Wherever you are in the pose, slow release. And actually change here into a lunge. So you're gonna pull the right knee into the chest and step the foot through for your lunge. Lower the back knee down. And then walk the right foot out to the side of your mat. Lean your weight onto the left hand. You can turn the right toes out, knee out, hip out. And again, quad stretch here, pull the back heel in. This time it's opposite hand to the foot. Sometimes this is a lot more open to folks using that opposite hand to foot, staying a little higher in the hips, so we just wanted a second go at it. And then again, release the back leg. And downward facing dog, make your way all the way back. This is a good time to add a vinyasa in between if you'd like. Plank, chaturanga, cobra, down dog. And then second side, we start with a pigeon, left knee to the left wrist, heel towards the right side. Again, you walk the right leg back, but instead of bringing the torso down here, we're staying lifted. Again, hands can be in the front or on the sides. Because we're adding that quad stretch, it's that much more important that we're really even in our body weight. It's not about resting the hips down, but how can I stay balanced, really toned in the abdomen. And then pull the back heel in. The more forward we walk the hands, even down to the forearms, can lessen the ask in the back. So you can always come a little more forward. Okay, let's try it. Same hand to foot. I'm going thumb on the big toe side, thumb up. And then as the heel pulls in, you gotta rotate the hands forward, the fingers forward, and the elbow up. Strength of the legs to take the left hand more onto the thigh, helping with the twist of the torso back to the front. And then slow release out of the pose. Change to your lunge. So I'm going to lift the back knee, get really strong in the back side of the body to make it easier to access a change in that front leg. Move the hands to the inside, heel toe the left foot out to the side, turn the toe, knee, hip. Give yourself some space to work with, lower the back knee. So the right hand can go a little forward, off to the side. Even like way off of your yoga mat, you can really lean towards the right to give you more space. More space usually translates more doable pose. Reach back, hold on to your right foot with the left hand. Second quad stretch opportunity here. Nicely done. Release. Bring it all back in to downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Knees, chest, chin this time, our little grasshopper pose. So toes, knees, chest, chin, hands on the mat. And then lower the hips, lift the chest for cobra. Release. Just lie flat on the belly for a moment. Relax the arms out. You can turn the head to one side. Then when you're ready, shift to lie down onto your back. As you lie down on your back, prepare for bridge pose. So soles of the feet on the mat, about hip distance apart. Take your hands and brush close to the heels. Push your head, shoulders, feet down into the mat. And then let's lift our thighs, our hips up, belly up. Take these stages of the hands, bend at your elbows, really dig the upper arm bones more intently into the earth. So it's like you have a little bookends of the hands around the sides of the torso. Nice curve of the neck, the cervical spine off of the mat here. Hands either stay there, try the second form, hold on to the edges of your yoga mat, keep curling the shoulders a little more up and in towards each other as you do so. And then finally, interlace the hands underneath you, and even a little more roll of the shoulders in. Wherever we are, let's give another press into the feet to lift, lift, lift in the hips. Good squeeze in the glutes. So the stronger we are on the back side here, the thought is that the more room we have to stretch, to open, to breathe, that's the more space along the front side. Okay, release the hands, lower the hips down. Take the legs straight up to the sky, excuse me. Leg lifts here so we can sit on the hands or take them behind the head for more challenge. Lift the head and shoulders off of the mat for even more challenge. And then everyone, glue the feet together and start to lower the legs. If you reach that point where the low back starts to really curve off of the mat, you know that's your time to stop the lowering. And we'll all go back up to the top. And just go nice and slow here. Find your rhythm. Lower the legs. And lift the legs. I'm shaking a bit. Are you guys? Couple more times. Form always wins the day. So don't try to go beyond what works best in alignment for your body. Nice options are to bend the knees or to go one leg at a time. Of course, take the hands where they'll most support you. We've got this, just about 10 more seconds. Go slow to really enhance the challenge. And then pull the knees into the chest, let your head rest back down to the mat if it was lifted. With that hug of knees to chest, rock from side to side. Again, that balance between the hard work and the release. Learning to do both. Take the hands out to a T shape. Let both knees fall over towards the right side here in a supine twist. If you'd like to add anything a little more to the supine twist, feel free to. I think I want the easy road right now. Okay, here we go. Knees across the center. Let the legs fall on over to the second side. And bring the legs across the middle. Again, set the soles of the feet down to the mat. Lift the right leg straight up to the sky. Lift the head and shoulders off the mat and reach as high as you can towards the ankle. Even hold on to the big toe with the right hand if you'd like. And then lower the head and shoulders back down. Take that extra stretch. Do your best to firm the muscles on the front of the leg. Lift up on the kneecap, tone thighs, the quads into the bone. So then we have this really good safe stretch. The muscles say, okay, front side is strong. So back side of that bone, where my hamstrings are, where the calf is, that's good to stretch. Lower the left leg all the way against the mat if possible. Give it a couple more breaths there. And then lower the right leg all the way down. Okay, to go to the second side, go back soles of the feet to the mat. Lift the left leg up. Again, curl the head and shoulders up. Reach high. And then try to lower the head and shoulders, keeping that same reach. When we're working big stretches like this, I always like to think of a 0 to 10 scale. And right now, the intensity of the stretch, both in terms of the strengthening on the front side of the leg that we're doing and the lengthening that we're doing on the back side of the leg, I want that towards a 7 or an 8. Pretty darn intense, but not about to catch past 10. Okay, and then the right leg goes down, and if I was at a 7 or an 8 before, now I'm definitely at an 8 or a 9 just by adding that intensity of right leg down. And that's why we gotta make sure in those transitions we're not too close to the 10. Okay, 2 feet back down. Let's give it a big full stretch, arms overhead. I want to give us a couple of options for an inversion today before we close our practice. So here's first stage. As if you're in legs up the wall, but there's no wall there. Just legs straight up into the sky. Stay and work there. Second, I'm going to bend the knees like I'm folding them into the chest, but to give me a little bit momentum. To rock back and catch your low back with the hands. Now, notice if you're looking that I'm not trying to lift my hips straight up to the sky, especially if you don't naturally practice shoulder stand. It's a little too intense, so I'm keeping a lot of weight. It's actually in my hands and in my wrist. I feel it in my forearms, but less so in my head and shoulders here. So I'm keeping my hips dropped pretty far down so I don't have to worry about the alignment concerns in head, neck, or shoulders. So if this works for you, you can do that. Take a little of the pressure off by bending the knees. If you know and have really safe other forms of shoulder stand, you can do that. And then don't stay there too long. Bring it all back in. If there's any last little movements that you need after the inversion, take them here. And then stretch out for Shavasana. Extend the arms, legs. You can close the eyes. If your preferred final pose is something different, do that here. Take your time now to slowly come back. A little bit of movement, fingers, toes. Stretch more. And roll towards the side. Help yourself up to a comfortable seat. And as you come to the seat, bring palms together, thumbs to the sternum. May the flow of this practice in and out, stretch and strength in and out, balance and imbalance, in and out of work and rest, help you throughout the rest of this day, this week as well. Let's close in the sound of Om. You're welcome to sing along, you're welcome to listen, you're welcome to tune it out. Empty out the breath first. Take a deep breath in. With gratitude to yourself, each other, this practice. Namaste.